Welcome back, NPCs and party members. Squalltheff8 here once again to review one more game for you. This week I'm going to be doing Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So I've been playing the Assassin's Creed games for quite a while. Of course, I haven't played every single one of them, but I've tried to play all the major ones. So I think out of the major ones, the only one that I haven't played is Assassin's Creed Rogue. But other than that, I have played Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations 3, and Black Flag, Unity, and now this one. I've enjoyed all of them. I've enjoyed how they've kept on trying to evolve the different gameplay and try and make the mechanics a little bit better. So I'll get to a little bit of the stuff that I enjoy about it. It does seem like they've refined the climbing up and down even more than what it was in Unity. It's still a little sticky from time to time with the auto jumping, but it's not nearly as bad as it has been in the past. One of the other major advancements I love in this game is the grappling hook. Oh my goodness, the grappling hook is so cool. Being able to traverse up and down, or up and even across some of the buildings was super nice. I've always had that problem where you're wandering around some of the buildings going, I gotta find the one place where I can go up the building because I can't go any of these other places. Thing of the past. Just forget about it. Just grappling hook, and whoop, 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 and you're up at the top. Perfect. It's amazing. And some of those gaps between those buildings, like, oh man, I really wish there was a rope between these two. No problem. And you just climb right over. Pretty sweet. Really enjoy that. Probably my favorite feature yet. I also really like this time period. I also found this to be oddly relevant to what's been going on here in the United States. With the political campaign going on for the new president and everything that the different candidates are talking about. I find this game to be oddly relevant for this time because that's kind of the big thing that this game deals with. A lot of the different similar issues that we're having now. Granted, they're not nearly as bad, but it's dealing with it's sort of towards the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, not a whole lot of regulations on business. So you get, even though there was a law in place against child labor here, it wasn't really widely enforced. So you get a lot of children working in factories and such, which is something really neat that you can do as one of the missions. You can go and free liberate the children from working in these factories in these abhorrent conditions. Also, the switching between the characters was really interesting. So this is a set of twins, Jacob and Evie Fry, and you can actually almost freely switch in between them, which is really nice. And they even have different skill sets as well. So Jacob's much more combat focused. He's got a lot of combat skills. It's much easier to fight with. As opposed to Evie Fry, who's a little bit more, I'd say, agile. She can go traverse up the buildings a bit faster, and she's sneakier. So if you're doing sneaking missions, she's kind of the character you want to go with. If you're doing something is going to be more combat heavy, then Jacob's going to be the character that you want. And I love being able to switch in between the two. I love the different costumes. Costumes they have are really good. Even the DLC was really good in this game. Probably my favorite one is the Jack the Ripper, because it's always one of those interesting stories. For those of you who are maybe not quite familiar with Jack the Ripper, during this time period, he was a fairly famous serial killer who went around killing hookers, and they could never catch him. He was in the district of Whitechapel. They even made a series on it. The BBC made a series on it kind of recently called Ripper Street, which takes place after Jack the Ripper, where got this detective who's always trying to look out, I feel like he's going to come back. Really good series, but not reviewing that right now. But yeah, it's a really interesting take on the Jack the Ripper story. If that's the only DLC that you decide to get, if you decide to get any for this game, I would recommend getting the Jack the Ripper DLC because it's fantastic. Some of the new game mechanics that are in it are just really unique, very enjoyable. Also really enjoyed the leveling up system in this. Get 1,000 XP to get your skill point, never increased, just 1,000 XP every time. Not a hard thing to do. And I found like even the collectibles weren't like very difficult. They had a lot of small things to collect in this game, but there wasn't a huge number of them. I remember in like previous Assassin's Creed games, like, oh, you need to go collect 100 of these feathers. I'm like, screw that. I don't want to do that. But you'll get this, blah blah blah. I'm like, no. I've had my fill of this game, and at this point, I'm really not interested in doing that. So forget it. The unique outfit in this game, I think there was only like 32 items that I had to find. It was music boxes, piece of cake, not a big deal. So yeah, really enjoyed that. There's also like pressed flowers and like the helix things that you can capture. And again, there's not an obscene amount of them, which was really nice. The fighting mechanics are really good. Still say my favorite fighting mechanics were in Black Flag. That's easily my most favorited Assassin's Creed game that I've ever played. But I feel like this one might come into a close second. It's really good. I feel like they should, kind of keep going down a track like this where it's got really, really good traversing mechanics. I really enjoyed the multiple character dynamic. The leveling system was good. So if they can keep a lot of like those elements, but change them around a little bit, I think they'd be good with their next iteration. Because I know there's going to be another Assassin's Creed game, but they've put off their annual creation of Assassin's Creed right now, so we're not going to have annual games at the moment, which was getting to be a little bit much because I found it hard to keep up with it with all the other games that are coming out, with my schedule and everything, which is why I didn't play Rogue, because it came out at the same time as Unity, I believe. And I was like, well, I'm gonna get Unity because it's on the PlayStation 4 and it has multiplayer to where I can play with my brother, which is a big plus to it. Plus the multiplayer co-op, I really liked that. I kind of wish this game had that where you could have both twins going at the same time. But that's just maybe they thought in the playtesting it wouldn't work as well. But yeah, like I said, I've always really enjoyed the historical content as well in this game. It was always rather fascinating. So some of the historical characters that you have in this game are Alexander Graham Bell, Charles Darwin, crap. Can't think of some of the other ones. Charles Dickens was one of the other major ones. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. It didn't seem like they ever touched too much on Alexander's creation of the telephone, which I was kind of glad because I doubt that's a little bit of a controversial topic these days, considering that he didn't actually create it. It was kind of, he took a patent from someone else. But again, it's neither here nor there. I'm kind of glad they didn't incorporate that because there are some historical discrepancies that people disagree on. And I'm glad that they kind of stuck to his character of being an inventor and wanting to do all these other things. And that was really neat to see that side of him. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Once again, the social events in this game are back. The killing of the stealth killing messengers, capturing the thieves that steal people's purses. I really enjoy that. Gives me something extra to do while I'm out and about. And also being able to influence the world a little bit was really neat as well. You could create additional missions for you to do, like capturing cargo and from the blighters and stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed that you could add additional things to your gameplay. So yeah, if you like Assassin's Creed, I would say if you liked Black Flag or if you liked Brotherhood, you'll probably really like this game because it's got a little bit of that Brotherhood feel to it with the creating your gang. It's a lot more amusing this time around. And then yeah, I also really enjoyed some of the ambient music in this game. You could walk around, you could see like little bandstands and stuff, and listen to them play their music, which was really neat. So, all in all, really happy with this iteration of Assassin's Creed. I would highly recommend it. I grabbed it on a PlayStation sale that happened fairly recently. I was like, oh great, I've been wanting to get this game, and $20 is about the price that I want to pay for it. So I grabbed the gold edition of this game for about $20. I don't know how much it is in stores. Unfortunately, I haven't been paying too much attention, but I think you might be able to get it at GameStop for somewhere around $30 used, maybe. But don't quote me on that. That's just kind of my guess from what I said. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll catch you next time. I'm thinking about reviewing the Final Fantasy 15 pre-release content next, so I'll kind of go over the two demos that have been released and talk about why the game's going to be interesting and why it's relevant to the Final Fantasy canon. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy this. See you next week. Have a great week.